A strong economy is crucial for the overall well-being and prosperity of a country and its citizens. It is characterized by stability, growth, and the ability to generate wealth and employment opportunities for its people. A robust economy provides the foundation for funding public services, reducing poverty and inequality, and supporting a high standard of living. Additionally, a strong economy can attract investment, create new businesses and industries, and help a country to compete in a global market. With how important having a strong economy is to a country's prosperity, we at Jirie Caribean thought it would be good to highlight those countries in the Caribbean that are doing well economically and whose outlook looks positive for the future. So, sit back and relax as we count down the 10 most vibrant economies in the Caribbean for 2023. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for our future videos. Before we get started, we first have to define the term vibrant economies. Conventionally, a vibrant economy refers to an economy that is characterized by high levels of economic activity, growth, development, and employment. These vibrant economies can be identified by a number of characteristics such as thriving industries, strong consumer demand, a robust labor market, and robust business investment. So with that being said, we are going to use a combination of statistics to rank the Caribbean economies. The first main metric we will use is the Human Development Index, or HDI. The Human Development Index is a composite statistic used to measure the average achievements in a country on 3 basic dimensions of human development. 1. A long and healthy life. 2. Access to knowledge. And 3. A decent standard of living. It was created by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, as a way to provide a broader and more nuanced view of human development beyond economic growth measures like GDP, and is a useful measure when we want to understand how good a country and its economy is. The other metrics we will use are purely economic and include GDP per capita, employment rate, GDP growth, and economic complexity. These are general indicators economists use to measure how an economy is performing. We start our list off at number 10 with the twin country of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which has seen a rebound in the country's economic prowess in recent years. The economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is largely based on tourism, agriculture, and offshore financial services. Agriculture, including the cultivation of bananas, sweet potatoes, and coconuts, accounts for a significant portion of the country's GDP. In recent years, the government has made efforts to diversify the economy by promoting the development of tourism, particularly ecotourism and offshore financial services. This has led St. Vincent and the Grenadines to see steady economic growth in recent years, with GDP growth of 1.35% and a relatively stable political environment, making it an attractive destination for investment. It is no surprise that it also has a high Human Development Index of 0.75. Despite the country's positive outlook, the economy remains vulnerable to natural disasters such as hurricanes and is still heavily dependent on foreign aid. Next at number 9, we look at the small island nation of St. Lucia. The outlook of St. Lucia's economy is generally positive, with projections for continued growth in the tourism and offshore financial services sectors. St. Lucia has seen a GDP growth in recent years of a whopping 12.2%, but has also seen a slightly high unemployment rate of approximately 20%. However, the government's commitment to promoting economic development and attracting investment is expected to further contribute to the country's growth. The country still faces significant challenges, though, including high levels of public debt and unemployment, and the dependence on a single major sector, tourism, makes the economy vulnerable to external shocks. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on the tourism industry, causing a decline in visitor numbers and revenue. However, as the global economy recovers from COVID-19, St. Lucia is also expected to reap the benefits. Next on our list in the number 8 spot, we have a country punching above its weight class, and that is the island of Barbados. The outlook for the Barbados economy is mixed, but overall is expected to show modest growth in the near future, supported by growth in the tourism and offshore financial sectors. While Barbados has struggled to achieve economic growth in recent years, with GDP growth being negative 0.18%, It has remained more or less stable over the past 5 years, even though it might not be growing rapidly. With a high Human Development Index of 0.79, it has the third highest development index in the Caribbean. With a relatively low unemployment rate of 8%, it makes up for its lackluster GDP growth. Outlook for the country is therefore overall positive, and with sound government leadership, Barbados is expected to achieve a resurgence in 2023. At number 7 on our list, we come to the Spice Isle of Grenada, which, despite its small size, has been doing consistently well in recent years, and its economy is expected to continue its growth trajectory in the coming years. The country's main sources of income are tourism, agriculture, and remittances from abroad, which have been growing markedly over the past 5 years. The government has implemented policies aimed at promoting tourism and improving infrastructure, which has increased visitor numbers and boosted the local economy. The agriculture sector, particularly nutmeg and cocoa production, is also expected to grow, particularly with increased demand from organic and fair trade products. With a GDP growth rate of 4.6% and a dropping unemployment rate of 22%, there are good things on the horizon for Grenada in 2023. At the number 6 spot, we have another twin island nation, and that is the country of Antigua and Barbuda. The economy of Antigua and Barbuda is expected to see similar growth to that of Grenada in the coming years, with a GDP growth rate of 5.2% and an unemployment rate at a low of 11%. The government is also putting in efforts to diversify the country's economy, as tourism accounts for more than 60% of the country's gross domestic product, GDP. To achieve this, an effort is being made to attract foreign investment, particularly in the technology sector, to reduce the country's dependence on tourism. Additionally, the government has also been implementing reforms to improve the business environment, including simplifying regulations and reducing bureaucracy. Not to mention Antigua's Citizenship by Investment program, which grants investors the right to the Antigua and Barbuda passport if they fund the country's National Development Fund, NDF, purchase real estate, or invest in a university or a business. Next up on our list at number 5, we come to the Spanish-speaking giant in the Caribbean, which is the Dominican Republic. The outlook of the country's economy in the short to medium term is quite positive. The country has a growing tourism industry and a solid manufacturing sector, particularly in the area of free trade zones, which have attracted foreign investment. The country through this has managed to achieve a spectacular GDP growth rate of 12%, with also a respectable unemployment rate of 5%. The government has also implemented various reforms to improve the business environment and attract investment. The construction sector is also expected to grow, fueled by increasing foreign investment and a growing middle class. However, the country still faces challenges such as high levels of poverty, income inequality, and corruption, and the country still has a lower Human Development Index score than other similar Caribbean nations. The government will need to continue implementing reforms and improving the business environment to maintain a positive economic outlook and attract foreign investment. Continuing into the top half of our list of vibrant Caribbean economies for 2023, we come to the soon-to-be-awakened giant in the south, Guyana, at number 4. Guyana is on the brink of an industrial revolution that is set to transform the country's economy due to recent major discoveries of oil reserves in its waters. This is expected to bring significant increases in government revenue and stimulate economic growth, which can already be seen as the country saw a remarkable GDP growth of 20% in 2021. While some of this can be attributed to the country's recovery from COVID-19, massive developments are also underway in the country's oil and gas sectors, as well as improvements in its agricultural and tourism sectors. However, challenges remain ahead for the nation. With a lower Human Development Index of 0.69 and a relatively higher unemployment rate of 14%, much still needs to be done for the country to achieve complete economic stability. We now come down to the top 3 most vibrant economies for 2023, and in number 3, we have none other than Trinidad and Tobago. The economy of Trinidad and Tobago has heavily relied on its oil and gas sector, which accounts for approximately 40% of its GDP and 80% of its export earnings. This has led the country to have a strong economic performance for more than 2 decades. But the country had begun to see a decline as global oil prices hit lows in the past few years. However, As the world recovers from the downturn of the COVID-19 pandemic, oil prices have begun to rise and Trinidad and Tobago is seeing the benefits. In addition to this, the government has been implementing measures aimed at diversifying the economy and reducing its reliance on the oil and gas sector. This includes investments in tourism, agriculture, and the manufacturing sector, and the government is also seeking to attract foreign investment and promote entrepreneurship to drive economic growth. With a low unemployment rate of 4.81%, the second highest Human Development Index, and GDP per capita of 0.81 and 23,000 respectively, the outlook for the country looks positive. We now come to the second most vibrant economy in the region, and one which is expected to show true promise in 2023 and beyond, St. Kitts and Nevis. The country has a growing tourism industry, which is a significant source of foreign exchange and employment. In fact, St. Kitts and Nevis have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the entire Caribbean at just 4.5%. While the country's GDP growth is not as high as others on this list at negative 0.87, its Human Development Index and GDP per capita make up for recent lackluster performance in GDP growth. Additionally, the government has implemented measures to attract foreign investment, such as its Citizenship by Investment program, and the government is focusing on diversifying the economy and improving competitiveness to drive even more growth. By the way, if you're getting value from this video, we would greatly appreciate it if you would give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for our future videos. Thank you. At number 1, we have the most vibrant Caribbean economy in 2023 and the one which is the most promising, the Bahamas. The Bahamas has been a beacon of economic stability and prosperity in the rest of the Caribbean for years, and it is expected to continue that trajectory into 2023. The economy of the Bahamas is expected to grow in the coming years, driven by the country's thriving tourism industry and increasing investment in real estate and infrastructure. Despite the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the government's stimulus packages and efforts to diversify the economy have proven successful in charting the country through this difficult time. With a GDP growth rate of 13% in 2022 and the highest Human Development Index score of 0.812, the Bahamas will continue to see prosperity as it heads into 2023. Check out this video on the top 10 most industrialized Caribbean countries. The Caribbean region has several other economies that are showing strong growth and potential for future development. These countries have demonstrated resilience in the face of challenges such as natural disasters, economic instability, and of course the COVID-19 pandemic. They have also made strides in diversifying their economies, attracting foreign investment, and improving their overall business environments. So, as the global economy continues to recover, have an eye out for these Caribbean economies as they see further growth and continued prosperity for 2023. What do you think about our list? Do you think there is a country we underestimated? Let us know which one and why in the comments. We here at J-irie love to hear from you. As always, we would like to thank you for watching and remind you to please like, subscribe, share our channel with others, and turn on the notification bell for our next video as we explore the Caribbean together. This is Jirie Caribean.